everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see third-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Chicago Bears. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense heading out, led by Mitchell Trubisky, a Pro Bowler last year in 2018. And, of course, the number 2 overall pick in the draft back in 2017. On first down, Trubisky, middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
Running back Tariq Cohen brings us all to our feet when he's on the field because you never know how they're going to utilize it. In 2018, was able to run, throw, and catch a touchdown pass. And in addition, was a 2018 Pro Bowl return specialist for the NFC. The human joystick makes everything better when he's on the field.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The last time these 2 teams met, boy, was it memorable. Wild card weekend last year as the Eagles started their Super Bowl title defense, and they held. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
That second down play nets a -4. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, with the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw is Wentz. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things that I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. Derek Barnett able to record his 5th sack of the season. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers, because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people, make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Now Trubisky. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Malik Jackson. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. He's going to go for a big play now, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 14 carries, 62 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third down, Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quicker.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 36 yards on the play.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Trubisky's throw into the hands of Burton. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. First down, a run with Cohen, and he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd and a yard, Trubisky, and he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup, sets up 3rd and 6. On third down, this is Howard. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, we called him At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Robinson's got it. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, and it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Aho.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Running with Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
To throw, it's Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing now is Wentz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. Then he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll begin the drive with Howard, and he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And bulldozing his way through. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. Connecting with Burton here over the middle. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap. jump too quickly.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the 2nd half gets underway. This fielded at the 2, fighting through. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And the first half was not kind to him, and he knows that. 3 interceptions, but still tied, so kind of a clean slate.
I'd say it's a reprieve because ordinarily you throw 3 interceptions, your team should be behind. So he has to be thinking to himself, okay, I'm off the hook for that one. I have to play better for my team here in the 2nd half.
On 1st down, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
This is Howard on 2nd down. Got some room at the 30, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This pass complete, wins to Ertz, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, these 2 teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Yeah, the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Now Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. And down to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Great 15, great 15. Let's 5-7.
Wentz going to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Caught out left side by Robinson. 23 yards the pickup there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt, and he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that one, just an absolute killer. A chance to get this back within 1 score.
All hope not gone yet, but at the same time, you're exactly right. They needed to get back within 1 score and have a motivated defense take the field in order to get it back home for one last big drive.
A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Check. Left. Stand. Back.
Wentz now to throw. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 15-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field.
They run with Howard. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. But that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 18. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Now defensively, you look at the numbers, another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Now Sproles. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Here we go. 180. 58 right there. Pick it up. Pick it up. What's up?
They go with Howard again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Watch tape. Come on.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Wide open receiver complete. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now it's Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. To Gabriel, middle of the field. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing again on second down. Trubisky. It's caught. It's Miller. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Now a desperation throw. It's caught inside the 25. 33 yards that time. Trubisky to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Howard has the first down and then some. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Sunday. 4 down. Check. Score. Ram. Watch the pass. Watch the shit.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. A give left side to Howard. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys are nails out there.
So for Philadelphia, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4 and 5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7 and 1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.